Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that I'm going to show you to start your Saturday off is something that, yet again, New York is on a quest to prove why we need to defend ourselves from the criminal elements in our population, and that gun control is not going to work because sensitive places are dumb. Everything that I'm about to show you, from a 32-year-old wrestling away a gun, an illicit gun, on a subway next to a police precinct, and then shooting the attacker, everything we're going to show you all ties together. It will all be linked in the description box below, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think in the comments field right down there. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. All right, in the last episode that's going to be sponsored by Vanish is this New York circus situation that we got going on. So do a quick word from them, and then we're going to hit it. This is not your everyday range holster. This is the holster that eliminates all your excuses for not carrying your favorite freedom tool. So comfortable, in fact, they offer a guarantee you'll love it or they'll get your money back. It fits 99% of existing models, and you can carry 2 fully loaded mags in this bad boy. Just a few of the features the Vanish holster boasts: it has a no-stink material. It wicks away moisture and prevents odor, so you don't have an issue in that regard. As well, it comes in 2 sizes, 48-inch and 68-inch belts. That makes it a perfect fit for everybody, and the belt is fully adjustable. And this holster comes with the most comfortable holster you'll ever wear guarantee. If it's not the most comfortable, they've got you. Also, if you use my code right in the description box, you get 30% off of yourself, plus an additional half off of the next one for your friend or family. Vanish wants to hook you and your family members up. Not only if you click on the link in the description box below do you get 30% off for one for yourself, but you also get an additional one for 50% off the already discounted price. It's right down there in the description box, and act now so you can not only prepare yourself, but also your family and friends with this holster. All right, beautiful people, we are going to dive in once again to Hochul's, New York. Adams and Hochul, they are a pair right out of heaven, aren't they? Well, I'll tell you, it just continues to get worse for Hochul and the left and the gun controllers, because the more gun control that they instill, the more gun crime occurs, and that's their term, not mine, that circumvents their entire purpose for all the sensitive places things. Like, just a brief recap, you remember the tourist, wasn't a tourist, it was a migrant who was not a citizen, who got a gun, who was underage, who shot at a police officer during an actual theft, and then hit a tourist, was in charge under sensitive places. Then you have this episode here where this is a criminal who is actually, I believe, selling drugs. It's not in this article, but I think I heard it somewhere, so don't quote me on that part. But allegedly selling drugs, got into an altercation, pulled a gun in a sensitive place next to a precinct in a subway in New York City, and then lost control of it and got shot in the face with his own gun. And then the next piece here is, shocker of all shockers, New Yorkers are arming up more than they ever have been. In fact, 2x times the amount of people than last year going for concealed carry permitting. But we can't confirm that because the New York Police Department won't show us. Check this out. No charges filed for New York City subway rider shot after passengers took cover and screamed that there were babies on board. The incident Thursday comes on the heels of New York Governor Kathy Hochul deploying a force of 1,000, including 750 National Guard, to increase security on the transit network. Well, that worked out great. Wait until I show you the numbers they're showing here. So, here's the story in a high level. A 36-year-old man was shot with his own gun on a New York City subway Thursday as terrified riders took cover, screamed there were babies on board, and begged for someone to open the train door so they could get away to safety. While Brooklyn District Attorney's Office spokesperson Oren Yaniv on Friday said the shooting was shocking and deeply upsetting, he added that at this stage, evidence of self-defense precludes us from filing any criminal charges against the shooter. So understand, this is why I'm doing this. If this individual had taken out a threat to themselves and other people with their own gun, they would be charged. But because they were unarmed and they wrestled the gun away from a criminal, then there's no charges. I'm glad there's no charges. I don't want there to be charges for this individual. He saved himself and potentially others. Go team, go team, go. But understand, when you're splitting the hairs like this, of New York's policy is, if it had been your own gun to defeat the threat, then you're in trouble because you violated sensitive places and you carried a gun and you're maybe not supposed to, XYZ. However, if you wrestle the gun away from the criminal and shoot him with his own gun, well, in that case, perfectly fine. So the problem is not stopping the threat. The problem is not shooting the threat with his own gun. The problem is who owns the gun. That's the problem. That's what we're boiling down to. because this is next to a Metro Transit PD station in the actual place. Police were on scene when this went down. The reason that this is so important to hit is if you look at this story, and the next one I'm going to tie in right here, and we're going to cover further later, New Yorkers and people all over this amazing country are realizing that the threat to themselves is being inhibited by the government because they are trying to provide safety of which they cannot. It is quite obvious that they can't. But they're starting to get the idea, and they're starting to arm up and get concealed carry licenses at 2x rates year over year. Let's keep going because this is a big, important thing. This went down even with a precinct and 1,000 National Guard people, all right? The incident on a northbound A train, which was captured on video, comes on the heels of a string of violent crimes on city's subway system that prompted the 1,000 individuals and 750 National Guard to increase security. And this is what I was referring to earlier. More New Yorkers are applying for gun permits, and the MPD won't say how many they granted. Shocker. The number of New Yorkers petitioning to arm themselves with guns, both at home and on the streets, more than doubled last year, according to new data on NYPD license and permit applications obtained by The Gothamist. Now, they're not going to say how many gun license and concealed carry permit applications were approved, but they did double. The applications doubled. And this is what I really want to get down to. We did a piece yesterday morning, all about Chris Hayes saying violence has never been better. It's incredible. Biden is the solution from on high. Gun control apparatuses across the states, blue bastions, are telling you everything's perfectly fine. And then you're looking at this right here. You're going to penalize someone if they carry their own gun and stop a threat, but if they wrestle away the gun from the criminal who's not supposed to have it, they're perfectly fine. Understand that distinction. It's insanity. You're automatically at a disadvantage, but if you somehow overcome those odds in a scuffle in a fight where others can get hurt, then you're perfectly fine. But if you carry your own gun and take it out with no scuffle and no threat to others, well, then you're going to get pinched. Hello? All right, a couple more things here. I want to show you this bad boy. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Police officers were already at the station, Kemper added, and were on the scene in seconds. That's because there's a Metro PD station on the actual station where this occurred. This would be equivalent to having a shootout and a brawl in front of an NYPD precinct on a street in broad daylight. That's what the equivalent here is. It's just laughable. But don't worry, they brought statistics. Look. To combat transit crime, more than 1,000 police officers were put in the city's subway system in February, resulting in a 15.4% drop in crime compared to the same month last month, and according to police statistics released earlier this month. Robbery dropped 5% and grand larceny decreased 28.6%, while felony assaults stayed the same according to the data. Again, waiting for the part where violent crime is better, because those two that dropped are theft related. Felony assault stayed the same. Meanwhile, arrests in the transit system are up about 45%. This is also the exact same people who decided to push for defunding the police, reimagining policing, cutting the budgets to police offices. I mean, guys, when in a moment of pure, candid honesty, what are they thinking? Like, this entire thing, over and over and over and over again, has just shown you how insane the ethos is of the left. It does not make sense on any level whatsoever. Take it out of the gun control for a second. You tell me what level this makes sense on, and I'll buy you a cookie. Because good Lord, Hochul, Adams, their gun control quest is not doing anything but hurting people and making them victims and having to wrestle away guns from criminals in order to say they were good while they disarmed the threat. I mean, guys, you can't make this stuff up. And when is it going to stop? Everything will be linked in the description box below. And I can't wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on.